Dr. Nur Laili to represent Head of Research Center for Applied Microbiology BRIN. To Dr. Nur Laili, time is yours. Dr. Nur Laili.
Okay, thank you, Mbak Busi, for your introduction. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in this today's webinar. I'm Nur Laili on behalf of Head of Research Center for Applied Microbiology, Dr. Ahmad Fathoni. He apologized that he cannot join for our today's webinar because he has another agenda in Universiti Negeri Jakarta this morning with the chairman of BRIN. But however, he is sending a warm greeting for all of the participants and also our honorable speaker, Prof. Wong. And he would like to for all participants can join in the seminar and we can gain something from valuable insight from Prof. Wong. And for all of the participants, I would like to say thank you to join this seminar and also for our speaker, Prof. Wong. We appreciate for your willingness to share your experience, especially for us. Our topic in the webinar, the strategies for successful publication in high reputation journal. And I would like also say thank you to all of the Wi-Fi team for arranging and also prepare this today webinar. And to moderator Dr. Neo, we hope that this discussion and the presentation of Prof. Wong will be successful in this webinar and we can get a very fruitful discussion. And we hope also that we can gain something precious insight from Prof. Wong, especially how to write standard or maybe a high valuable for a journal or publication, because this is also our KPI, how to publish, especially for high reputation or middle reputation journal in BRIN. Maybe we can start the webinar today, and as Dr. Ahmad Fathoni, I hope that we can enjoy for this seminar and maybe we can arrange for another seminar in next time. Okay, thank you for all the participants and the speaker, the moderator. Please enjoy the webinar today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Nur Laili. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start the agenda, we will have a photo session first. To all participants, please activate your camera and for the committee to take this screenshot. Okay, I will start count from first slide. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Second slide. 1, 2, 3. Third slide. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. And I would like to remind to all participants, please fill the attendance form from the link in the chat box. Okay, now we are going to start our discussion for today, which will be led by our moderator, Dr. Neo Endra Lelana. To Dr. Neo, time is yours.
Thank you, Bu Andalusia for the time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, good morning everyone. Yang saya hormati Dr. Nur Laili yang mewakili Kepala Pusat Mikrobiologi Terapan. our special speaker, Professor Wong from Universiti Putra Malaysia. Panitia seminar ya di pagi ini, Mas Eko, Mas Yuda, and all of participants. My name is Neo, and I will be your moderator for this webinar. We are thrilled to have you all here, whether you are joining us live or later watching the recording. Today we have special speaker from the University Putra Malaysia. This is the second time, Prof. Wong. You share your expertise and knowledge. And on this occasion, Prof. Wong will share her knowledge in how we write scientific paper and how we can get the success to be published in high reputation journal. I think this topic is very interesting, as we know that BRIN and most of universities place a strong emphasis on publication in high impact journal or high reputation journal based on BRIN index. The question is, when should we start preparing a manuscript to be successful published? I think because we need work hard to this, from preparing qualified data, how we organize and present the data in the manuscript, and many other things. And I think Prof. Wong will explain you more detail, and maybe it is around an hour, 60 minutes. Prof. Wong will present how we can get the successful publication. Prof. Wong has a Scopus index maybe around 16, Prof, if I'm not mistaken. I think, of course, we learn from the right person right now. Before we can start the webinar, I think we after Professor Wong presentation, we have a question and answer session, and please you can directly raise your hand later, or you can chat to the chat room. Without further ado, I would like to hand it over to Professor Wong. Please, Professor, time is yours.
Okay, very good morning to everyone. Can you hear me, everybody?
Yeah, already.
Yeah. Okay. Selamat pagi to everyone, and salam dari Malaysia. I have a friend here next to me from Malaysia too, visiting researchers. Okay, thank you, Dr. Nyo, Dr. Nolaini for the introduction, and Dr. Fathoni for the opportunity to invite me to share on the publications. As we know that we are researchers, so we should publish. I will share more, but maybe this presentation, if for the senior researcher, maybe is a revision. Maybe for the younger researcher, I believe you will learn some strategies to publish in a reputed journal. So I will share my slide.
Ininya? Oh, Dani mau.
Can you see the full slide?
Yes,
It's not.
already.
Is it a display mode? Not. Not yet. Okay. So display mode. Just a minute. Okay. Um, as mentioned by Dr. Neo, the title of my presentation is Strategies for Successful Publication in High Reputation Journals. So it's quite a bit of slides, so please bear with me, bring your coffee and enjoy the presentation. Okay, I will cover some topics here, whether we publish or not publish, writing a quality manuscript, the structure, response and revision and response to reviewers, reasons for rejection, ethical issue, and conclusion. Okay, so as researcher, we always have this question, whether to publish or not to publish. We always ask that question, but if we are a researcher, we have to publish, right? We know that because this is our what do you call basic scope job scope. In Malaysia, we call it tugas hakiki. It's our core business, so we have to publish. Okay, here are some explanation why a researcher should publish. In view of the completion of project, a research project is not completed yet until it is published, because nobody knows what you're doing if you don't publish. Scientists publish to share knowledge, new knowledge, and we publish so that it is verified, the data are verified, because it will be reviewed by reviewers. So we publish new original data and methods, expansion of published knowledge, the knowledge that has been published, but we expand it, review of the field or the discipline so that we know what is the status now, and maybe a summary of particular topic so that we know what is the latest development. Okay, we all hear about publish or perish, right? If you don't publish, you perish in the research institution. So actually, I found that surprisingly, it is not a new phrase. It's actually used by Mr. Coolidge or Dr. Coolidge or something like that in 1932. Okay, he was telling the professor, you publish or you perish. Okay, so the cycle is this. So we write a research proposal and then we submit a proposal to the funding agencies, and then scientists will conduct the research, collect data, and then we write manuscript and we publish in journals. And then so once we publish, it is considered complete because people know what you have been doing, and then we write another new proposal to get grant. Okay, quickly, why publish? Just now I mentioned it's good for the researcher, for the public, for the research community, and it is a necessary step in the process of scientific research. It is also required for graduation, master student and PhD student. Nowadays, master students need to publish one paper, and PhD student 2 papers. And not only that, the quality of the paper keep increasing. Okay, previously just a normal publication in Scopus, now required 1 or 2 Q1 and Q2 publication. And career progression, yeah, they will see your publication, how many good quality papers you have published, like H index is the measurement. Okay, if for researchers, it's for career recognition, citations. We increase your citation if you publish a paper. If not, then nobody knows your work and nobody cite you. And because of publication and citation, more researchers will know you, and then they will collaborate with you with a similar topic. For the public, of course, if you have good products, our prototype can be brought to commercialization, and it will benefit the private sector in terms of economic. Public trust in science, if you publish, people know that the data is quality, and the people also have a chance to learn about science. And for the research community, this is important because when we publish, we will know, okay, this is the status now, then we can make new progress. and become more efficient because we work together in a topic, and then we will advance the research. And we can use that, reuse the materials for teaching, because we can research the papers and we know the knowledge, and we can use it for teaching. Otherwise, you have to do everything, your research, you have to publish everything, then only you get the knowledge. That will be very slow and efficient. Okay, this is the most important section of my talk, writing a quality manuscript. Okay, the process is as shown here. After you complete your research, you will prepare a manuscript. Then after that, you will submit, and then assignment, the editor will assign reviewers and the review process, and then we reach for a decision. So it can be both, either one, rejection or revision. It is very, very rare, or I think not happening if you get acceptance in the first submission. It's very rare, okay, because we are not perfect. So if the reviewers has recommended improvement so that it can be published, so you will need to do revision. Okay, after revision, you will resubmit your revised paper and then re-review again by the reviewers. If they think that you have done what has been commented and improved the manuscript according to the standard, then it will be accepted for publication. Then congratulations, you have published a paper. And the other side is rejection. So we need to know why the paper has been rejected. So we go back to the top again. So we have to look back at our data and start all over again. And in the process of re-review, during the reviewer look back at your revised manuscript, if you did not do accordingly, what didn't improve your manuscript, then they will also reject your paper. So the cycle start again. Okay, can I publish this? It means your data. Okay, in your manuscript introduction, please don't use the justification that it has not been done before, because this is the editor-in-chief saying, just because it has not been done before is no justification for doing it now. So you have to cite, or you have to explain why is it important for this research, for this study, okay? Don't mention that it's not been done before, even though it's the same topic but different plant or different object, but still it's the same type of research, okay? So you have to consider something interesting. Have you done something interesting? Have you checked the latest reports in the field? Have the findings been verified? Have the appropriate controls been performed to your results feed, or is the story complete or incomplete? Is the current work related to the current hot topic? Because we don't want to research those that are out of date, right? Too long ago. Have you provided solutions to any difficult problems? Okay, so this is the question asked by my senior colleague, Prof. Dr. Taufik from Universiti Putra, Malaysia. He said, if all the answers are yes, then you can start preparing your manuscript. Okay, I will explain the different type of article. Some of you may have noticed. The most common one is original research, or the methods from the original research. That means you collect data your own, not the secondary data. The second type is letter or short communication. You want to communicate, you want to share the findings that you have, the initial finding that you think is very interesting and very important, that affect the research in the future. You can write a short communication or letter. The third type is the review paper, a mini review or systemic review. This is also important because we want to know what is the status and the latest development in that field. The other type is first report or plant disease note. This is a short publication, maybe just one page with supplementary data. You can submit supplementary data. This is just to report new disease appearing, like new pathogen affecting old host, or old pathogen affecting new host. So something new. Okay, you can also publish this type of data. And the most important thing is you submit to only one journal at one time. Okay, that is the ethical rules of all the journals. You cannot submit the same data to different journal at the same time. After you've done with one, either accepted or rejected, then you can go to, if rejected, you can go to another journal. Okay, always, this is very important, always refer to author's guide. Every journal has different type of guide. Okay, how do you write it? What is the instruction? How long is it? So you must follow exactly. Exactly, okay? If you don't follow, they will return it to you and you have to do it again, and it will take time. Poorly prepared manuscript also waste people's time, so it is also a sign of disrespect. So we need to follow the guideline strictly. At the editor for the Journal of Catalysis, say, why should I pay attention if you do not want to pay attention? This is quite common. My students or other students or some researchers, when I review the paper, is they really don't pay attention. You can see that because a lot of mistakes. Okay, is that the data that doesn't tally with the discussion, things like that. Okay, this part is the important one, the format of writing. Usually is divided into three parts, three sections. The head, I call it the head section, means the title, the authors, the affiliation, abstract, and the keywords. Okay, in this section, it should be informative, attractive, and effective. Informative means when we read the title, we know what is the study about. It is attractive and effective to show what is the study. And the second one is the body section, main text, which include introduction, materials and methods, results, discussion, and conclusion. And because journal has limited space, so we just write it very concise, very short, very compact, and precise and accurate. Okay, straight to the point. Okay, so because the limited space for journal. And then the third section, I call it tail section, includes acknowledgements, contribution of authors, and references. Also, we can submit supplementary materials out of other than the main manuscript. Okay, the format of writing, you see the top, the green box. We follow the author's guide. Every journal has their different format. We also have to remember to choose the correct language, either British or American, but not both. Don't mix them together. The third one is the structure of the manuscript. Sometimes different journal, the section is different. Sometimes there are some journals that the materials and method is at the end, after the results and discussion and conclusion. Okay, so you have to follow the format. And then the references format, how do you write the references? Usually we follow APA. I can't remember the long name, but you can Google it. It's the APA reference format. Figures, tables, photo, also you have to follow the guide because they require different type of file. Okay, this is publication fees, very, very concern. And also one of the factors that decide which journal we want to submit. There are two types actually, or three types. The first one is open access, where it's open to everyone. You can download free but we have to pay, the authors have to pay for the article processing charges. It's called APC. Okay. It's very expensive. We will see later. And then the second type is conventional, means subscription type. That means the institution will subscribe to that journal, and when the authors, when they submit to these type of journals, there are no charges. But accessibility is limited because you cannot obtain it easily. If your institution did not subscribe to that journal, then you are not able to download it or get the full paper. You can get the abstract. So if like UPM, we subscribe a lot of journals, so UPM researchers can access to the articles because we subscribe it, we have to pay for it. If BRIN subscribe to some journals, then BRIN researchers can have access to the full paper. The other type is hybrid. The journal provide two types of publication, open access and also conventional. Okay, so if you have money, you will choose open access because it's fast and easily available. We want it to be easily available because it will increase our citation because people will cite our paper. If they cannot get your paper, they cannot cite your paper. So that's the reason. Okay, so just for some examples, sorry about the small type, the small font, yeah. For example, the journal Frontiers in Microbiology. There are different types of articles. A is the original research, B is the mini review, C, opinion, D, correction. Okay, correction is free. So you can see here is in US dollar, 3,004, 2,490. So it's quite expensive to go for this kind of journals. So that is the consideration when you want to publish in which journal. Okay, title, author's name or affiliation. Title, later I will give some examples. Title should be compact and precise that describes the content of the manuscript, and it has to be attractive. Okay. The second one, author's name, we follow the format of the journal. Sometimes it's the last name first, sometimes it's comma or things like that. So you have to follow. And the corresponding author, some journals will allow one or two corresponding authors. So you can look for that journal with the information. Affiliation, usually we use official location and email address. The journal will say you have to use your official address, okay? Not Gmail, Yahoo, or whatever. Okay, abstract. Oh, my internet connection not stable. Okay, usually abstract is written in one paragraph, but some journals, they break it into like methods and then results and then conclusion, but usually it's all in one paragraph. Abstract should have the summary of the major aspects of the research, including your problem statement, purpose of the study, brief description, the basic methodology used, the major findings, and the conclusions. Always use past tense. Usually is 250 to 300 words. And this part is written the last, even though it's the top, the first one. But it's written last because it will depend on the result that you have and the discussion and the conclusion. So this part is written the last one. Title and abstract is very important. Both should be able to stand alone. That means when people read your title, read your abstract, you don't need to go to the manuscript to know what is the study you're doing. Okay, so one from the title and from the abstract, they already know what you've been doing because readers want to know whether these articles is suitable for me to read more. If not, they will move to another article. If yes, they will continue to read with more details. And then make sure all information stated in the abstract is also mentioned in the main text. Okay, this is that's why some people like they do the abstract first, and then when they write down the manuscript, sometimes they miss out some data that they have not put in the abstract. So make sure you check all information stated in the abstract is also in the main text, and those in the main text also in the abstract. And then use the abstract to sell the article. That's why I say people read your abstract, they will whether want to read more or not. Okay, some journal has article graphical abstract. Okay, some journal has highlight. They need you to give some highlights. That means what is the importance of this your study. Okay, like for example, this is my paper. We have highlighted four important points. Okay, it says Ganoderma boninense secretes hypersensitive response inducing elicited proteins. Okay, because we have done it and it shows that it has elicited proteins. And then this is present in the fungal genome. And then these two proteins involved in the pathogenesis. And then also can be used as a biomarker. So this is the main point. Graphical abstract is like this. It's also my paper. So it's an abstract, but you use the picture to show. Okay, first study, second study, third study, so until the end. So easy for the readers to understand. Keywords also very important. It has keywords. You have to put the good keywords or correct keywords because it is for indexing. People will put the keywords to search for any paper. So if you put correct keywords, they will go to your article easily. They will find your article easily. And if they can find your article, then they can cite you. Usually people cite the papers for the first few manuscript that they found. Okay, so those that at the end, then they will not want to read too many papers. And then be specific for your keywords. Avoid uncommon abbreviations and general terms. Too general, when you search, there'll be so many papers coming out. So be specific. And try to use words that other than those in the title and abstract to widen your search. Okay, that means don't repeat the same thing in the title, in the abstract. Maybe you use another keyword that also related to your title and abstract. Okay, introduction. We need to write a proper introduction to establish the context of your study. That means you tell the readers why you study this, the purpose of your study. The content usually is, okay, you state the problem, what is the problem, and then you state the brief review of the current knowledge in the field, which is the knowledge gap. This is very important. We want to know what is the gap that we need to fill to improve the knowledge. And then that's why we do the study. So you justify your study and you state the purpose or objective clearly in the introduction section, and a clear statement for the rationale of your approach taken. That means you write clearly why you use this approach or use this method to do this study. Okay. And then also introduction contains some questions. What are you studying? What do you do? Why do you do this study? What do you know and what is lacking? How does this study contribute to advanced knowledge? So similar to the content just now. So some tips. Usually we focus on the keywords or in the title so that we write the topic to avoid losing focus. Sometimes we write in the introduction too long, we lose the focus of what we want to, the study that we are studying. Okay, so just straight to the point, to the keywords. Avoid general information, cite specific reports related to your study. And then use primary research journals, the original research, not the secondary research, secondary data. That means you read the review papers, you go to the original papers that cited in the reviews, okay, not cite the review paper, okay? Because review paper, they didn't do the original research. They just review all the articles. And this is also important. Develop the skill to find primary literature. Sometimes we cannot, our introduction or the literature review is not comprehensive because we do not know where to find the latest information, latest papers, right? So usually we use citation index databases or search engines such as Web of Science. I think this one need to be subscribed. Scopus also. We have PubMed. Google Scholar is free, so you can search from Google Scholar. Or if you cannot get anything, you don't have the subscription, you just request from the corresponding author. So this is the easiest way. Okay, because do you think they will share their paper? Yeah, I think they will. Why? Because they want you to cite the paper. So it's the easiest way to get the citation increase. So they will, if you ask for 10, they will give you all 10. So that you will cite the papers, okay, to increase the citation. So that's the easiest way and the free way. But sometimes also the corresponding author didn't respond, so you may find other ways. Find the co-authors somewhere. I think some journals or all journals have all the emails of the authors in the paper, so you can just write to anyone. Okay, second part is materials and methods, or some is called methodology. You need to describe in details. Okay, this part always, especially students, master students, PhD, they didn't write enough details. Okay, of course, they were the one who did the experiment. They know, but the readers do not know the details. Okay, so often I'm the examiner of thesis. Often I ask, how do you do this? How much gram you put? How long do you incubate? Things like that. Okay, for materials used, you have to state either you use plants, microbes, animals, human, or chemicals. So for chemicals, you have to put the brand and the manufacturer and the country. Why is this important? Because different chemical brand, different manufacturer, even though they produce the same chemical, it may have different effect on your study. So you have to write exactly. So when another researcher want to repeat the experiment, if they want the same result, they need to use the same chemical. Okay. And the study site, to state the lab that you have used, the location, and then the period of time that you use there, or the environment if it is important. So you including temperature or relative humidity. Sampling design, experimental design, very important. You have to state that whether you use CRD, complete randomized design, or RCBD, randomized complete block design. So you have to state how many treatments, how many replicates, how many control, what are the controls, and the number of samplings. Equipment used, the same. You have to state the brand name, manufacturer, and the country, especially for centrifuge. Usually we use standard unit, which is the times G, the gravity, because if you use RPM, you must put the name of the centrifuge that you use, because different brand, the spin is different, the rotor is different, so it's not the same RPM. Experimental procedures and data collection. Yes, you must state how do you do your experiment, how do you collect the data. Statistical analysis, also very important to see whether your result is significant or not. It can be use SAS or SPSS, RStudio. SAS need to purchase. SPSS also, I think. RStudio is free. Probability use, yeah, this one you must state usually is below 0.05. Okay, so the main point is you provide as much quantitative details. Quantitative means can be counted, okay, like gram, mil, okay, milliliter, liter, as as much as possible so that the experiments can be reproduced by others. Okay, this is some of the example from the journal. So the method, the format, some needs your numbering, like Scientia Horticulture Q1 journal, you need numbering. On the right side, Journal of Rubber Research, there's no numbering. Okay, so different journal has different format. Okay, results and discussion section. For results, you need to, you don't report everything. You report the key results. Preliminary result, usually in thesis you can report, but in papers, because lack of space, right? So you need to report the key results without interpretation. Okay, so that's why if the journal has two separate sections, results and this result one section, and then another title is discussion, you separate them. Result means you just present the results without interpretation. Discussion, you will interpret the result. Some journals has both together, like these results and discussion, one line, but still you can separate them. You can report the results first and then you discuss the result. Okay, and present analyzed data, not mention the raw data. You include the statistical analysis in the form of figures or table, which is easier to understand. Do not duplicate the same data set in a figure and a table. Okay, you choose one. If you have the same data set, you can choose either figure or table, depending on your objective, which one is better. For example, if it is table, you can highlight the value, right? Figure, you cannot see the value too much. So depend on the objective of your presentation. Make sure the results you present in the results sections were described in the materials and method section, and vice versa. Some people, they describe in the materials and method, but they didn't report the results. Some people, they report the result, but they didn't describe in the materials and method. So it's missing data. Texts are written based on the sequence of figures and tables. So the first thing we do is we prepare the data, okay? We analyze the data and prepare the data and put it into figures and put it into tables and arrange it in a good sequence. So when you write it, you write based on figure 1, text first, and then the figure close to the text. You write the text first, then followed by the figures or tables. Important negative results should be reported also, because we want other scientists to take care of, be aware of this kind of negative result. Okay, for discussion, this is always very difficult, especially my students. For students, most of them lack of discussion. Okay, so how do we do the discussion part? We interpret the results by comparing them to the objective of the study or the hypothesis, which is in your introduction section. So you check back whether the results that you obtain, does it answer the objective or the hypothesis? Does it prove your hypothesis? Okay, you discuss based on that. And next, you discuss your results in reference with other similar works. Okay, usually we take most current reports, which is within 5 years. Okay, to support your interpretations. That means, okay, you got this result, the other people also got a similar result like this. So we can support your interpretation. That means if everybody has the same result, it shows that it is consistent research. And then you discuss the reason. Okay, similarities, we just say that it's similar. But for differences, you need to discuss the reason why. Okay, even though you do the same study, probably different chemicals or different timing, different types of materials, so it produced different results. Sometimes it's contrary to your own result. Okay, some people got it and you didn't get it, so you have to explain. And state the conclusions, usually in the last paragraph. Some journals, they have a separate section for conclusion, but if they don't have, then it will be in the last paragraph. Okay, so you highlight the novelty of your study. Just now I mentioned, I show you the highlights, right? So you just highlight the novelty of your study and how these findings contribute to new knowledge in the field, as well as the recommendations for future research. Usually in the conclusion paragraph, we put recommendations for future research. That means we recommend what other study need to be done to follow up, to advance that knowledge. And by discussion, how do we know whether our study is novel or not? By discussion, you discuss by comparing your work with others. Okay, if they have not done something that you have done, that means you have some novelty in your study. Okay, graphics means either you can use figures, bar chart, line chart, or photos or tables. Bar chart should have arrow bars. Table should have standard deviation. That means the plus minus sign. Those are statistical analysis. Caption should stand alone. Caption means the explanation below the figure. It has to be self-explanatory. That means when we read the caption, we know what you are studying. Data accurately presented and easy to interpret. That means readers can understand. Some results are so complicated, so you have to make it easy to understand. Use color only when it is necessary, because publication charges for color printing is very high. So we try not to use color if possible. Unless you have pictures, very good pictures, then it's okay. Follow the format of the target journal. Okay, so all the figures and tables, I need to follow the format. Okay, example, this is the bar chart. Okay, so the caption need to be self-explanatory. Okay, that means the title, include the title, evaluation of anadroma pollinens, transform based on growth rate. Okay, A is the growth rate. B is the biosynthesis of ergosterol. C is the ergosterol. B is the expression, gene expression, sorry. Okay, A, growth rate, B, gene expression, and C is the biosynthesis of ergosterol. Okay, so we know you study on this. Or, okay, or line bar. Okay, you still need to put the significant difference. So this caption also explain what is the study. The study is duration of RNA silencing in FOCTR4 gene in vitro. Another example, you can put your picture, you can put multiple sequence alignment, phylogenetic tree, okay, but you have to describe. First, you must have the title. This is in silico analysis of GBCP2. It means in silico analysis means we analyze the sequences of this gene, GBCP2, seratoplatin, in the bioinformatics system using bioinformatic analysis. Okay, last part is acknowledgement. It is a requirement now. I think the funding agency need the researchers to put the grant. The funding agency, the name of the funding agency, the grant name, and the reference number. Okay, like our ministry, Malaysia's Ministry of Higher Education, they gave funding, so we have to put the name of the ministry and the grant name and also the reference number. We also include if there are some technical staff that help us with the study, or the service provider from the company, or sequencing, or whatever service that they provide. Also, anyone assisting in English editing, if we don't send it to the editor or English editing service, so we will acknowledge them. And also those who provide critical comments on the manuscript, even though they are not co-authors, but they read your paper and they give comment to improve. That also we can acknowledge. Some journal requested the statement of contribution of each author. That means each of the author, what is their contribution? For example, one author or maybe the corresponding author or senior author will, the role is to acquire grant, to plan the experiment, things like that. And then another person will conduct the research, collect data, analyze the data, something like that. Okay, which journal? That's the always the question. Which one is it is appropriate, because there are too many journals. We do not know which one. Okay, usually we will find those good publishers because they have online system which is fast processing, and they have a lot of guidelines and they give a lot of advice. Okay, and also their quality is good, impact factor is good. So it could be Elsevier, it could be Springer Nature, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Oxford University Press also, APS Press, American Phytopathological Society Press. They have their own publication. Two factors that we consider: journal citation reports, which is an annual publication report by Clarinet and Analytics, okay, that company. And this is the one of the most recognized sources for journal performance data. That means we always refer to this report to see what is the performance of that journal, what is the ranking, what is the impact factor, how's the performance throughout the 5 years or how many years. Okay, the second factor is journal impact factor. Okay, a metric used to evaluate the influence or importance of a scientific journal. But this one usually just evaluate the past 2 years. I guess it's good enough because we want to know the latest, right? So this factor is always used to make publishing decisions. So we want to publish in a higher impact factor journal, right? So we will look at this factor. Most journal have online system. Some do it manually, like the small journals or the university-based journal or institution-based journal or society-based journal. They will do it manually or through the submission through email. But most of the big society, such as the British Plant Pathology Society, they also use the online system. Like they go through Springer or Elsevier system. Cover letter. Some journal needs cover letter. The cover letter just state why your manuscript should be published in that journal. Okay, you just want to highlight your novelty or the importance of your study. There is no fixed standard format or template. You can just Google and see for some example what is the cover letter looks like. Okay, so just to show some impact factor or some ranking, this paper on the left is published in Scientific Reports, which is Q1, impact factor 3.8. And here it says that from the Journal of Citation Reports, this journal, Scientific Reports, is the 5th most cited journal in the world, okay, in 2023. Why is this important? Because if we publish in this journal, our paper will get cited easily because many scientists will look for this journal. So if they see your paper there, and they can cite your paper easily. And the other one, the Q2 on the right side, biological control. Okay, by the way, I'm a plant pathologist, yeah, so most of the examples are related to plant pathology, molecular plant pathology. Biological control is Q2, impact factor 3.8. Okay, so usually the journals Q1, Q2, they can flip-flop. That means sometimes 1 year they are in Q1, 1 year they're Q2, then go back to Q1, Q2. So it depends on the formula of the calculation. Okay, so it for us is Q1, Q2 is okay. In terms of the title, maybe since I'm here, I will just comment on the title. Okay, you can see on the left side, the title of the paper is different from the one on the right side. Did you see the difference? Which one is more attractive? Okay, look, I cannot hear you, but I will tell my comment. Okay,
The
on
left
the left
side.
side, left side, okay. And Tita, thank you. Phenazine from Pseudomonas aeruginosa UPMP3 induced the host resistance in oil palm Eliasgenesis Ganoderma pathosystems. That means these titles tell you the conclusion of the paper. That means, okay, phenazine extracted from Pseudomonas, it can induce host resistance during the interaction. Okay, for the right side, okay, this is just very typical, very common title people put, right? Evaluate the bioformulation for disease suppression and growth promotion. But we do not know what is the conclusion or what is the highlight for this paper, right? So I would think that the title on the left side will be more interesting or attractive. Also, some more examples. Okay, these are the 4 papers that are published in this year, 2024. So it could range from Q1 to Q4, okay, depending on the data or the quality of your manuscript. So for the Q1 is Scientia Horticulturae for the molecular work. Q2, usually you notice that Q1, Q2 papers, the impact factor is not that much difference, but it's different from Q2, Q3 or Q4. Q3, Q4 also no difference, but compared to Q1, Q2, they are lower. Okay, so Q3 impact factor is lower for 1.3. Q4 paper, Q4 impact factor 1.2, so it's much lower. Okay, next. After we chose the journal, we write according to the format and we submit to the journal. Okay, now is the important part, the decision. Okay, as I mentioned just now, if they don't reject you, you get revision, then you're very happy. So you need to follow exactly, study carefully the reviewer's comments. The reviewing process is double-blind peer review usually. That means the reviewer do not know who are the authors, and the authors do not know who are the reviewers. So both of them do not know each other. And we respond to all the comments. All, okay? Don't miss out anyone. Point to point. Okay, so we need to prepare a table for that. Do not ignore any comment, okay? If you do not agree, just state politely. Please state politely. Don't don't say something bad. Otherwise, reviewers are mostly the similar person for different journals because they invite the expert in that area. So usually they are similar person. So if they don't like your paper, I mean your comment, then they will give a very bad review. Okay, so rebuttal means you state politely why you don't agree and you include scientific solid reasons to back up your you don't agree, right? But you still have to comment. You don't ignore that comment. Do not repeat the same response. Okay, once you state one time, you just go back. You said refer to the comment on the other side because different reviewer may have the same question. Clearly list all revisions with the page and line numbers. That means most journals have the line numbers at the left side. Okay, so you cite the page and the line numbers, which part you have done revision, so that the reviewer can go back to that exactly page and line to check whether you have done the revision. This will make the process much faster to be specific. Go to that page instead of just going through the whole paper. Okay, so this is the conclusion. You prepare a table that lists all reviewers' comments and your responses respectively. That means on the left column, you can put all the reviewers' comments point by point. You list down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on the right side, your response to each of the comments. If you need to perform a reanalysis or recalculation, you have to do it. Or if you need to improve your English editing, you have to do it. Okay, I borrow from Dato Prof Taufik's example. Okay, so the top rebuttal that the person give, the researcher give, is saying that the reviewer is clearly ignorant of the work of this and showing that the electric field strength. We don't say that, okay? So we say politely on, like in the second paragraph, thank you for your comment. However, I feel that the assumption in our model is supported by recent work by Universiti. Okay, we show that, okay, this is the statement that support your data. Okay, so we say politely. Okay, this is my example from my own paper. This is the example that my student didn't follow the format of the journal. It says here, before going for review, the manuscript cannot start the review process until you follow corrections to meet the journal's requirement. So here they listed down. You have to follow this. Okay? So then you waste your time already because they return it to you. You have to do it and then go back to them. They need time to check again, things like that. Okay, so if you follow in the first place, then they will forward it to the review editor. Next, okay, so the next example is resubmit your revised manuscript. Okay, because the reviewers recommend reconsideration of your manuscript following major revision. Need to do major revision. So we need to resubmit our revised manuscript by this time. Okay, so we have to do revision, major revision. The third example, okay, after major revision, after we follow all the comments, we have addressed everything, and the reviewers are satisfied with all the revision, then we got accepted for the publication. Okay, so it has been published in the Physiological and Molecular Plant Pathology journal, which is Q2, Impact Factor 2.8. Okay, rejection. This is the most scary part, but it's common. Okay, it's like it's common. Okay, don't be. So we have to learn to accept the rejection. Don't take it personally that you are not good or things like that. But it is the process. There are many reasons. Okay. For this part, the next slide will show what are the reasons. For this part, probably you need to study the reasons for your own rejection. That means, do you need to add more data, or is there another journal that is more appropriate? And some journals, because the quota is full, so the acceptance rate is very low, things like that. So before you resubmit to another journal, make sure you improve the manuscript using the comments from the last submission. Okay, just mentioned just now, even though it's rejected, you need to improve it because those reviewers have given very good suggestion, and follow the format of the new journal. Okay, so you have to change the format to follow the new journals. Also bear in mind that not all reviewers also very good quality, so you can rebut, okay, when you think that they are not giving good comments, but the good comments we follow. Okay, so this is another journal submitting to the same journal, another manuscript submitting to the same journal, Physiological and Molecular Plant Pathology. So this time it says, I must therefore reject it at this time. That means the previous time it was accepted, but this time it has to be rejected. Okay, so it's not that good feeling, but still we have to improve it. Okay, reasons for rejection. There are various reasons, but most of them can be avoided. That means if we learn from others or from comments, we can avoid the rejection. So it is mostly related to the quality of the research. So you need quality data or quality design, experimental design, and clarity of presentation. This is very important. When you present your data, if it is not clear, that is the problem. Okay, you have to make it clear. Or journal fits, that means that the scope of your study doesn't fit the journal. Okay, some reason I can mention here: lack of novelty or originality, poor research design and methodology, inadequate literature review. Yeah, this part is like you don't address the knowledge gap. Okay, you didn't do it. Weak or unclear hypothesis and research objectives, lack of significant results, flaws in data analysis and interpretation. That means you don't interpret it correctly. Poor writing and language issues, failure to follow journal's guidelines, mismatch with the journal scope, ethical issues. Next slide, I will show what is other ethical issues. Inadequate discussion and conclusion, yes. Over-interpretation or unsupported claims. Okay, this one is quite common for students. They make a statement, but their study didn't show the data that support the statements. They assume it, or they just assume that it happened, okay, from the reading of others. So you cannot make this kind of statement. Okay, ethical issues include plagiarism. Okay, plagiarism just simply say you took the information or data from somebody who has published, and then you claim that it's yours. You didn't give acknowledgement, you didn't put the source, you didn't put the reference there, so it's called plagiarism. So whenever we cite or we cite somebody's paper, or we took a picture of diagram or figures from the articles, we have to put the source or the acknowledgement, the source of the information. Data fabrication and falsification. Yeah, that means fabrication means you don't have the real data, you just cook it up, you just make it up and write a paper. Or falsification, you use you use a different data and then you publish in a different type of paper. Duplicate. Okay, so just now I mentioned you cannot submit to the same set of data to different journals. Give authorship and ghost authorship. This is very interesting. Give authorship means the person does not do anything for the research, but his or her name is there for many reasons. And then ghost authorship means the person do all the work, most of the work, but the name is not there. So it's the opposite. Okay, so this is not allowed also, it's not ethical. Conflicts of interest, non-disclosure. That means you don't declare that you have the conflict of interest. Let's say, for example, you get a grant from a company, pharmacy or what do you call it? The pharmacy company. They ask you to do the grant to do a study to evaluate the product or things like that. And you have to declare that the data, the results are not influenced by the company, even though they give the grant. So you have to declare that. Okay. Otherwise, if somebody found out, then it is an ethical issue, unethical. Manipulating peer review, that means just now I said that double blind. The reviewer doesn't know the author doesn't know the reviewer. But in this case, the author knows the reviewer and keep influencing the reviewer to manipulate the comment. So that is also unethical. Misleading or inadequate citation. Misleading, that means I checked the Google Translate. It's called, bahasa Indonesia called informasi menyesatkan. Misleading, menyesatkan. It lead you to the wrong way, wrong direction or wrong information. Okay. So this is also unethical because you write your statement in a different from your data, from what the data shows. If the withholding or misrepresenting data, withholding means you don't publish your data, you hold your data. Misrepresenting data, you represent a different set of data, so it's not the correct data. Okay, so this kind also is considered unethical. Failure to obtain ethical approval or informed consent. Yes, those who are working with animal, fortunately for the researchers who are working with plants, still okay, we don't need to get permission. Those studies working with animals and human, you need to get what do you call it? You have to apply to the committee in your institution to check the ethical process. If it is approved, then only you can conduct the study. For informed consent means you need to inform, let's say you do survey or you try your product or on a human, okay? You need to inform the target, the human, the group of people that you are doing this study, and then what is the benefit, what is the consequences. You have to get the to get the permission to get involved in your study so that you can collect the data. If you don't have this, then it's an ethical issue also. Some, especially the medical journals, they will always ask this. They will not publish your data if you don't have this. Image manipulation means image means the gambar, the picture, you do something to it to manipulate, to make it what you want to show, okay, not what the data show, okay, you just manipulate it. Okay, so cause this unethical behavior will be 2, retraction of your paper and reputational damage. That means your reputation has been damaged because you didn't present reliable data. Retracted, you have to retract. Some scientists, they really genuinely betul-betul they think that they did something wrong or misanalyzed the data, so they retract the paper. They write to the journal. The title is called erratum, ERRATUM. So it says, okay, we retract because there's some analysis problem. Okay, so that is okay. I mean, you really genuinely make a mistake, but not purposely. Okay, so if ethical publication is important because it ensures responsible and trustworthy research and the knowledge for advancements, that means we trust the knowledge published in the paper. Okay, conclusion, we want to get the manuscript accepted, right? So this is the sort of summary by editor-in-chief or geology reviews. So what gets you accepted is you pay attention to details, check and double check your work, consider the reviews. English must be as good as possible. Presentation is important. Yeah, make it clear. Take your time with revision, acknowledge those who have helped you. We publish new, original, and previously unpublished data. Critically evaluate your own manuscript. Ethical rules must be obeyed. Okay, so this is the sort of summary. Okay, I learned this word cat practice. Is it practical tips, right? Okay, plan your manuscript. Okay, what I mean is if you have a new grant or just started your research, you plan your manuscript. That means you try to, okay, it depends on your target. If you want to publish in Q1, Q2 papers, journals, then you look at those papers that is similar to your topic, to your study, and you look at the content of those manuscripts. If you think that you can perform this kind of studies with the grant, the money that you have, with the facility that you have in your institute, you can plan for it. And then you can just, you plan it and then you collect the data because you already planned and you have the money to buy the chemicals, you have the facility, equipment to do that kind of job. But you have to add one more novelty to it, not the same as what has been published, something new, okay, from what they have suggested. Or if you already have finished your experiment, you have the data collected already, so you still need to plan your manuscript. That means you check your data, just like I mentioned just now. If you want to publish in Q1, Q2 paper, journals, then you check the content. If you think that it doesn't fit, I mean, it's not enough data. Like one of the paper that rejected my paper is because the lack of data. Same journals, the accepted paper because it has a lot enough data. The one rejected, not enough data. Okay, so we have to go to another journal. That paper, because not enough data, is during the COVID time, because student couldn't go to the university, the lab is closed half of the time, so we couldn't continue the project, and the student have to go back home. So that's why we look for other journal. So if you think that your data can publish in Q1, Q2 paper, then you can plan to write for that. If you think that it's not, then you can go for Q3, Q4 paper or journals. At least you know you have the chance to get submitted and accepted. Okay, the next one is once you have planned it, those that just started the project, then you collect and analyze your data accordingly, and then you prepare your manuscript. Prepare means you already plan it. That means you have the outline. Roughly, what is the title? Of course, abstract, you don't have to do it first. Introduction also no need first. Or objective, yes, you can include the objective, and then materials and method, that is the easy part to do. You just write it down. And then the results, you plan what experiment you want to do. And then when you have collected the data, you just analyze it and put it inside that outline. So it will be more structured and easy to follow. And then you submit your manuscript. Okay, so you never give up. You can do it. So you just try and try. I know many scientists, my colleagues. I'm the core authors. I keep on receiving rejection. But finally, he got it. One publication, one journal accept the publication. So never give up, but you can do it. I think that's all. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Neo.
Thank you, Prof. Wong, for the insightful sharing. I think many valuable things that we can get from your presentation. I think what can I highlight that we can get the benefit, yeah, from the publication for us, for researcher, like career recognition, citation, or new collaboration, and not only for researcher. I think the publication should also give benefit for the public, yeah, especially for the international trust and scientific. I think we should prepare the paper seriously, yeah. Like editor quote, why should I pay attention when you do not pay attention? I think, and the most important, we should follow the author guide, and rejection is common and don't take it personally, and we should try and get maybe resubmit to the another publisher, and when we get the rejection. I think many tips that Prof Wong give for us on the publication. Now I would like to invite the audience to ask for Prof Wong. You can raise your hand directly, or you can write on the chat room. While waiting the question from audience, I would like to ask you, Prof, in your experience, it is especially in Malaysia. It is I think using the English language editing. I think is it
Yes.
important and when we can get the service before we submit the manuscript or after acceptance maybe. But sometimes the editor suggests us to improve the English language.
I cannot get your. Can you explain now? Just now was echo. I
Is
cannot
it
hear.
is
I'm sorry. The acceptance.
it better to use English language editing before we submit the manuscript?
Use English editing.
Yeah.
Service or service. Okay, okay. Okay. It depends. If your co-authors, if anybody is good, can help. If not, if your colleague, not the co-authors, but one of your other colleagues is good in English, also can help. If not, then you have to really need the help of the service provider. The publisher, Elsevier, Springer, and other big publisher, they have a recommendation for English editing, but I'm not sure about the charges. Maybe they charge a bit. So for myself, I will do it if I have the time. I will do it. Like with my Chinese collaborator, I was the one who really improved the English for them to submit, get accepted. Yeah, yeah, it's very important to get to write it in good English.
Okay, Prof. Wong, thank you. I'm still waiting for the audience.
Okay, if no question.
If no question, one more question, Prof. Wong, from me.
Yes. Okay.
There are some publisher that now has a fast review process like MDPI, Frontier, and Plus, yeah, compared to other publisher that maybe need more than a year for the review process. Maybe I need your opinion about this publisher.
Public.
Yeah, is it also good reputation journal also?
Oh, okay. Good reputation journals. Usually we will check the Clarivate report, journal JCR, journal of JCR, right? Journal report. Usually we will check that report of the performance, the ranking, the impact factor, and the past 5 years, I think, for Clarivate report. So we see the performance. If they are doing well, then it's good to use those journals. But as I said, there are many factors to decide. Okay, so with the APC, the publication fees, and okay, for myself, if I want to choose a journal, I will select. Okay, first the ranking, second the APC, third the speed of publication. That means the journal will tell you, okay, 1 year. Some journal publish two journals per 2 issues per year. Some publish 3, some publish 4, some publish 6, some publish even 12 every month. So we will see the speed of publication. If we want it to be fast, we will choose the one that is faster. Again, it will depend on the APC, how much is it the cost. So we will find among these 3 factors, we will try to find which one we can eat. But all of them are good journals.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Prof.
Yeah, hope answer
We
your
have one question
question.
in the chat room, from Pak Ganto.
Oh yeah.
How many writers of publication for the best article paper? How many author? Yeah, ideally for in one article.
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, there's no limit for the authors. If the Q1, Q2, or not just Q1, Q2 papers, there are top 1% and top 10% above Q1, Q2 papers. So those are really, really high impact. The impact is 40, 100, those medical kind of journals. Okay, so there's no limitation. So it depends on the contribution of each of the co-authors. Okay, if they have contribution, then as many as you can. For like medical, they have many, some until 10, 15, 20. Depends on the contribution to that study. Yeah, so there is no limit. If you do review on your own, it is accepted as well. If you have a few for each of the study or contribution, maybe some of them contribute to that study. So yeah, there's no limit for the authors.
Okay, Prof. Wong. So the author is no limitation here. Depend on the contribution of the authors.
Yes.
There is one question again from Bu Laila Purba. Sometimes during revision stage, we are asked to conduct additional experiments by the reviewer. However, the situation may not be possible for us to conduct additional experiment. What is the best way to answer the reviewer's comment in this case? Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is common also. Okay, so it depends if the additional experiments really will help to give a good impact. So additionally, high-ranking journals, Q1, Q2. Okay, so that's why in the beginning I mentioned that if you have planned it, target Q1, Q2 journal, you will know whether your results, the content of your data, is it enough for that journal. If not, then we will go to the lower ranking journal. For in this case, after review, you have to decide. Either you can do it, you have the facility or the chemicals to do it usually they give like 6 months, I think, to do your additional. Depends on the journal. I have experienced one journal, they give 6 months to resubmit if you want to do the additional experiment. So if you have the chemicals and you can quickly get the data for that, I think you can do that. But if you don't, you cannot do that. That means you have to go to another journal, because if that is they will review back your paper. So if you don't have that data, definitely they will not change their decision. Okay, so in this case, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I have experienced one time that the reviewer requests like additional data. But we mentioned the other additional data for another paper. So I can't remember whether they accept or reject. Okay, so we can respond like that if we want, but if they don't accept it means we have to go for another journal. Yeah, because the additional experiment sometimes is we don't have the time and we don't have the people to do it. I understand that. Yeah, so the only solution is we go for another journal. Hopefully I answer your question.
Okay, Prof. Wong. So I think it is better to fulfill the what prefer us to get the additional data, yeah, or we can move to another journal maybe. Mm, okay, Prof. Wong, I think there is no question again from the audience. Now we can close this webinar today. Thank you very much for your insightful sharing, and thank you again also for our audience for joining us today. We hope you found that this session helpful, and you can maybe in the future you can get success for your publication. Have a great day. Thank you. I return the time to Andalusi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
Neo.
Neo, for leading a very interactive discussion, and thank you, Professor Dr. Wong Muyun, for a very interesting presentation. And as a token of our appreciation, we will give a certificate for Professor Dr. Wong Muyun as a speaker. Thank you very much for sharing your
Thank you.
valuable knowledge. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our agenda for today. I'm Andalusi Arini. On behalf of the committee, I would like to say thank you very much to our speaker, moderator, and all participants. See you in the next event. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Okay,
Wassalam. Terima
Thank
kasih
you, Prof.
semua.
Wong. Terima
Terima
kasih,
kasih.
Mbak Uci, Mas
Terima
Eko,
kasih,
Pak
Mbak Len.
Kasih.
Sampai ketemu lagi.